In Financial, we make every effort possible to give back to this community that has given so much to us. We do this by supporting our local schools, nonprofit organizations, and community outreach programs, to name a few. We are so proud of our town. This is Blair Parks Hickman with Caledonian Financial in historic downtown Columbia.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
The Mid-State Classic is back in 2026. Head to Ridley Sports Complex for a full day of elite softball, hometown pride, and nonstop action. The Tennessee Lady Vols will take on the Austin P Governors in a can't-miss collegiate showdown. Plus, get ready to cheer as the Columbia Central Lady Lions take on the Spring Hill Lady Raiders, and the Columbia State Chargers go head-to-head with the Calhoun Warhawks. Tickets are just $10 and on sale now at columbiatn.gov. Get yours today before they're gone.
What's your favorite radio station?
101.7 WKOM.
Oh!
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
And I'm Michael Parks Lawrence at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
Together, we're Mr. Bobby Parks' grandsons, and we run his dealership, and we are glad to be part of our local community.
Being family owned and operated, we invest heavily in our community.
We do things like sports teams, schools, bands, you name it. We try to help everybody we can.
The reason why we do this is because we all love this community.
So come do business with us, your neighbors, at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee, right off Nashville Highway, or at parksmotorsales.com.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, and what I say you must obey.
Live from the WKOM studio in downtown Columbia, it's time to wake up and get woke. It's Three Dudes with a View.
Let's get it all!
All right, good morning and welcome in. This is Three Dudes with a View. I am Drake Pugh. Not sure where Delk is this morning. I'm kind of filling in for him right here for a sec. Dude number 2, native son, favorite son of Columbia, Ron Hart. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, good morning.
And dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
And son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning, Jeb.
Good morning, y'all.
All right. Well, there's been a whole lot going on lately, as we know. The big Nancy Guthrie case is going on. Have y'all been keeping up with that?
I know it's not hardly in the news at all. What's going on there?
Well, she's been.
I'm joking.
I was about to say, like,
only thing on the news. Wag the dog.
Oh, yeah, they found somebody, had him detained for a while. I understand he's been let go though after questioning.
That's what I heard as well.
I talked about this yesterday, but I can't live my life cosplaying as Nancy Grace and wildly speculating on things that aren't actually going to affect my day-to-day life. I understand it's a big story. I get why it's human. I get why people care. But at the end of the day, until something's actually factually proven, we are wasting just valuable time on wild speculation.
Well, nobody just disappears, Jeb.
Oh, I know.
But Grace comes on and wags her finger. She's kind of funny. I used to do a lot of CNN, and she came in and did a shot next to me one time. She had a kind of a handler guy doing her makeup. The guy was with her and kind of be doting on her. She was very nice, actually, in the green room talking. I mean, just as nice as she could be. And as soon as the cameras turned on, she had sweatpants on, but she had like a top and pearls on where you just see her face. Super nice, super nice. And when the cameras turned on, he did it. He did. I know he did it. She goes in that persona of hers. and it must sell, but because I guess people watch it for whatever reason. But she was like Jekyll and Hyde. I've never seen anything quite like it.
If you're into that sort of thing, though, like the true crime unfolding live, that is the messaging you want, is the definitive wild speculation. But the thing, both in this type of media and otherwise, I think that's always an issue on every side, is the lack of the requirement to be like, my bad, I was way off. Like in newspapers, you'll get sued, go through litigation, and then print a retraction on page 9 at the bottom right of the thing about, like, by the way, that whole thing we ran for, 6 months, that was an oopsie. And that's the end of it. And like Nancy Grace has never been like, I was wrong, my bad. And I don't think that's, which is why I need to let all this sort of stuff play out in order to have any opinion on it. I think it's weird, and I know why people care. I think it's not commensurate with.
Well, America's intrigued by mysteries, and the mystery of her mother disappearing is intriguing many Americans. They're trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, I agree, and I understand why it sells, but it's entertainment more than it is news, and that's where it becomes the sad part, because
it's entertainment.
And that's the sad thing, is that a very serious thing, a real life, a real family with real fear and real consequences and stakes, has become an entertainment factor for people when, the actual news is the evidence that was there. I know that they're releasing things as they find them, or at least releasing them as they seem to deem fit. With the Ring camera footage they put out yesterday was like a new layer and caveat to it, and it's just people are they've convicted and acquitted like 9 people in public opinion already. I think it needs to play out a bit more before we get to that point.
One thing I tell you what, TMZ is about as good as the FBI.
They are very good. I mean, they have been for quite. I mean, they've gotten so many of the big breaking, clips or scoops or things like that in the past 50. It was TMZ that got the Billy Bush thing.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the grand jury night indicting those 6 senators that made the video on military people not obeying unlawful orders?
I think it's probably legally sound. Because the legal question was, they made that very specific qualifier of unlawful orders, which is, obviously media tested and ran past attorneys, but the implication there is just don't listen.
Don't do anything. Don't.
But they did cover themselves well enough to where I do think that it would have been impossible to indict them.
You would have in Vietnam.
So why does the government keep pushing that then? If Pete Hegseth months before made almost a similar statement, don't obey unlawful orders.
Argument before the Vietnam War, Mr. York, they made the argument that the Gulf of Tonkin didn't happen, and they didn't have a war resolution, and we didn't go to Vietnam. We saved 54,000 lives, trillions of present-day dollars, and a lot of international gravitas that we lost by going to that war. What if they'd done it then?
That was the policy of the United States, and nobody objected to it at that particular time.
Did you ever?
I mean, you had a few naysayers, but in
nobody objected.
1964, when they declared
revival. I mean,
in 1964,
doing something of value. You guys were protesting the war.
In 1964, there weren't any protests. Shortly after, I mean, you're gonna have a few people always protest everything.
Kennedy had us there.
So people agreed that it was the right move. It was a policy of the United States, and that's why the war continued to escalate.
The war is that we can only base off the information we get, and the Gulf of Tonkin was a lie created by the CIA to get us in there. A, B, Kennedy was downtrodden after the Bay of Pigs as a weak president, so he had to flex his muscle to do something. He didn't want to be a wussy. That got us in that war as well.
Yeah, well, that's history, Ron. We need to talk about something.
The vote in the Senate was like 99-1. I think Bernie Sanders, in his credit, voted against the war in Iraq, and it was 99-1 in the Senate to go to war in Iraq. So I mean, popular opinion is not right. You know, if you
well, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's very right. But back to the issue with the 6 senators, do you think Hegseth is going to continue to get revenge by trying to reduce Mark Kelly's rank and pay?
I mean,
I don't know revenge. We're talking about revenge. I don't know.
I mean, I think he'll continue to demonize him, but I mean, it is one of those, like, it is like a passive aggressive mother-in-law at Thanksgiving to where, like, you know what she's saying, but she says it in a way to where it's defensible to be like, no, I didn't mean it that way. Like, I didn't mean, like, you just can wear anything. I mean, I love that y'all just kind of threw this together, or I know, like, they have the defensible words that if in a court of law you had to read the transcript.
What's the defensible words? The words were simply that military people should have an option to obey or not obey unlawful orders.
They were saying that the Venezuelan strikes were unlawful, so they were saying don't do the Venezuelan boat strikes on these boats down there. They're you know, the commander-in-chief has full control of the military. They were telling military people to push back, like that Manning girl guy who gave all that information up in Iraq. I mean, he's encouraging almost insubordination is what he's
encouraging dissent.
Well, every military guy under the UCMJ is covered with that, and often grilled with the fact that unlawful orders can be disobeyed. And you have a choice to make as a military person whether to abide by an order that's unlawful or not.
So droning the U.S. citizen that Obama did under his campaign, he bombed a U.S. citizen overseas. Was that unlawful? He should not have done that.
I'm not. That's a policy of the United States when he did it. I mean,
U.S. citizen?
An order that's given by a military. I'm not talking about the commander-in-chief's order. All the orders that the commander-in-chief gives is obeyed right now in this administration, but under normal circumstances, under the UCMJ, a military person has an option to obey an unlawful order or not to obey one. And that's all Kelly and that group of 6 were saying.
No, that's what they were. No, it's not in any way what they were implying, because if you're trying to fester in subordination and all that, you're asking him, and as somebody who was in the Navy, when you're a kid, when you're 18 years old, you're asked to then be the arbiter of legality of military rules of engagement. And I know there's a standard set of things that you do understand. If someone's like, shoot these innocent people, obviously there's that. But then there's, I mean, you talk about, like, even in Vietnam, something like Mac v. SOG, when we were in Cambodia, we're talking about things with, you know, CAA operations and things like that fall under the category that if you let some 18-year-old kid be like, I don't see congressional approval here, I'm going to sit in the tent. Like, there is.
Yeah. And the whole time, as they're saying this, these senators are using the term, we're going to have a Nuremberg trial after this is over with, ICE or whatever they're talking. So basically the message is very simple. We're going to go after you when we're in power, unless you defy the president.
That's not the message. That was not the message. The message was, at 17, when I was in the military, we were covered under the UCMJ about unlawful orders. You have an option. It's generic. You have an option as a military person to obey an unlawful order or disobey an unlawful order. That's all they were trying to tell people. And if they're out there just murdering folks and an unlawful order is given, then you're responsible for that action. And actions can be taken against you later on.
No one's threat for insubordination. It's the only way it can be considered to be.
No one's denying
that. You know what they were doing. The timing was curious. The attitude was curious, and I mean, it's just. I mean, they never did that to Biden's, organization or Obama's organization. Republicans didn't come out and say, "Hey, you don't kill a U.S.
Stop bombing Yemen."
Obama and Biden didn't murder people either.
Yeah, they did.
Are you outside of your mind? Obama had more drone strikes in a singular.
That was in an area of conflict that was certified as a conflict, and Congress agreed with it.
No.
Congress never agreed with this murdering boat people.
Did Congress agree to have war on Yemen? Would you care to give that one just a tiny little Google search there?
On that.
I mean, that's worth a pop up because I can promise you.
I mean, right now, Congress never agreed with a lot of things that's going on. In this administration,
your logic is flawed from the start of that entire sentiment because you're saying that was the posture of the United States and under Obama, the systematic drone strikes over Yemen in a it was a conflict zone. Yeah, because we're bombing it now. There were issues that I think needed to be addressed, but if your qualifier is that it has to be congressionally approved in order for it to be considered a legal act, that's where you start to have these ideas.
Was killing bin Laden a legal act? Was that a legal act?
The senator out there, Kelly, who did it, he's in the state of John McCain, who carried out a lot of missions, I'm sure, over Cambodia, flying jets when he was in the military. I mean, he would fall in that situation as well.
It's a different, Ron, when it's American policy. A policy is different than people taking unresponsible actions.
Declaration in Cambodia. There was 0 Cambodian war declarations.
It was completely against the law for us to be in Cambodia, and yet Mac Visog was stationed.
It's against the law to kill the boat people. International waters, that's international waters. We have no business shooting boats out of the water in international waters unless they are a threat to the military folk there.
All right, y'all, we need to
kill 120,000 people in fentanyl, so that's a threat to our country. He's got it under terrorism.
We gotta go to break.
We got to go to break, y'all.
Who's making all the fentanyl in this country?
Who's making it? It's shipped in from overseas. So cocaine comes in from there. Let's walk through it for a second. Cocaine comes in from there, and then locals will cut it with fentanyl so they get more.
Take a break.
People and young men are dying.
All right. We'll be right back, folks.
We are going to break. This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it. 3 Dudes with a View, and we'll be right back.
This Valentine's Day, let your love shine. At Tillis Jewelry, every piece tells a story of devotion, of moments that last forever. We're celebrating with beautiful Valentine's Day gift wrapping, plus a sweet little treat for the one you love. And ladies, stop in, fill out your wish list, and you will be entered to win a special giveaway just for you. This Valentine's Day, let your love shine at Tillis Jewelry in Columbia, Tennessee.
You're not just a homeowner, you're also an ice maker that didn't read the job description owner. Fortunately, you've got heating and cooling built and tested to keep going. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090 for all your home comfort needs. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local independent American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
This is Delp Kennedy, Front Porch Radio. Holland's Pharmacy on Hatcher Lane never ceases to amaze me. The other day I had a prescription to pick up. I went up to the drive-in window. The girl gave me a big smile and turned around and gave me my prescription without even having to ask my name. Then she noticed my lab puppy Jack in the back seat. She put a dog treat in the door. Jack is going to be a permanent customer of Holland's Pharmacy. Holland's Pharmacy, where they know my name, the service is friendly, prices are competitive, 931-388-4233.
So here's one thing we know about February. It's the shortest month of the year, which means we don't have much time to waste. So I'm going to make this real quick. The new February instant games from the Tennessee Lottery are now available at a retailer near you, and with 4 new tickets to choose from, you could win up to $5 million. That's big news for such a small month. So drop what you're doing and make your way to play the new February instant games. And did I mention you could win up to $5 million? Pretty sure I did. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Hun, I get it. You like humming a little theme music while you play Frenzy Instant Games. Can you just wait for the next commercial?
Sorry. They're here, and they're looking for a winner. The return of Frenzy Instant Games. With so many prizes, you're going to need a bigger boat. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Just remember to play responsibly.
Hey, this is Seth Moss at Tennessee Valley Equipment, a premier FAE PrimeTech, Bandit, and Shurex dealer. We are your dealer for all of your land clearing and forestry mulching needs. We sell equipment, provide repair service, and parts along with a rental fleet of mulching equipment. We also offer mulching teeth, blades, and sharpening. Our number one priority is getting you up and running as quickly and affordable as possible. Tennessee Valley is located at 300 Santa Fe Pike in wonderful Columbia, Tennessee. Stop by or give us a call today at 931-981-9812.
Hi, I'm Morgan Luck, a local licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Columbia, Tennessee. Turning 65 and choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-586-9906 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually by phone or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Service and product availability may vary by state. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Hi, this is George Ross with The Way Realty. Please allow me to share a little bit about us. We measure our success by the quality of service you receive. We provide many ways to help you get the most when selling your house, like home staging, landscaping, repairs, professional pictures, and aggressive marketing. Our listings are posted on the MLS, Realtracs.com, Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia. Your house will most likely be your biggest investment for your family and for your future retirement. Let us help you fulfill the American dream by buying, building, or selling your next home. And most importantly, let this new year be a great year by putting Jesus first in your life. Jesus Christ changes lives. I know because He changed mine.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're having a tough time or thinking about suicide, you're not alone, and there's hope. VA's Veterans Crisis Line has responders who listen and help. Many are veterans or have veteran family members and friends, so they're prepared to address your challenges. Don't wait. Dial 988, then press 1.
This is Barry Duke, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. Yeah, 10-4, Big Ben, for sure. By golly, it's clean clear to Flagtown. Come on. Yeah, it's a big 10-4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy. Let them truckers roll.
And welcome back, Three Dudes with a View. I'm Drake Pugh, filling in for Delk Kennedy today. Favorite son, native son of Columbia, and dude number 2, Ron Hart. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
And dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning, Mr. York.
Good morning, Drake. Good morning, everybody.
And son of Rod Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning, Jeb.
Good morning, y'all.
All
Real
right.
quick here, just to put a finer point at Mr. York, and I know you don't, but Obama authorized 500 drone strikes during his time, up from 50 under Bush. He killed between 2,300 and 3,800 people in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. That was okay in your mind, but these drug boats are not, right? Delineate that for me.
Did Congress object to what Obama did?
It doesn't matter. He's commander-in-chief.
It does matter because Congress can determine where strikes are credible and where they're not.
No,
I don't think we heard a peep out of Congress about the strikes were illegal. But we have heard from Congress that the boat strikes were wrong.
There were a few dissident liberal congressmen you listened to.
So just to unpack the logic here, because under the liberal majority in Congress during Obama's time, they didn't run a full-scale media smear campaign against something that is constitutionally legal for the commander-in-chief to do. That means it wasn't a problem, because in your mind, that means that was the policy of the United States because Obama said to do it. However, if it is the policy of the United States because a Republican president decides to do it, that is no longer the case.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Congress never objected to anything Obama did.
Just a couple of.
I mean, this is history we're talking about. Congress didn't say the strikes were wrong. A lot of Congress people are saying the boat strikes are wrong and illegal because they're in international waters.
Got a few left-wing loons like yourself who say it's basically wrong, and it's not. Congress is not voting on this saying it's wrong. And then, by the way, I mean, he can do that if he wants to. He's declared these narco terrorists as terrorists. Same logic that Obama used to go into Pakistan and Yemen and Somalia. I assume Somalia went into Minneapolis. I don't know if he bombed Minneapolis or not, but he did what he did, and I didn't object to it. I mean, as a libertarian, we did a little bit. I don't think he should get too happy doing that. But again, much rather do what Trump does: go into Venezuela, hit it and run; go into Iran, hit it and run. What he was doing, Obama was doing, was going into Yemen and Pakistan, where these terrorist organizations were hit it and run. I'm not totally against that.
But also, you're saying that there was no push. I mean, like Rand Paul did hearings.
Rand Paul pushes against a lot of things. He's consistent.
Sean Murphy, Mike Lee,
and Tom Massey.
Mike Lee, and then when like Anwar al-Awqari was killed in Yemen in 2011, a U.S. citizen strike by a U.S. drone, there was a pretty big congressional pushback about that. Ron Wyden said some stuff about it. They had a full disclosure for the legal rationale to try to go down it. Just because the side is talking very loudly and has the media microphone it doesn't change the fact that the structure of how these things are allowed to be done is still the same.
Let me ask you a question, both of y'all. Do you think we will ever stop fentanyl in this country?
Never 100%, but it certainly helps you blow up a boat full of.
How much do you think we'll stop it if America really put its head together?
Well, let's look at it this way: fentanyl's deaths are down from 120,000 Americans a year down to about 80. Pretty good little lick there.
Okay.
And so to say to stop it, it's one thing. So will you ever stop it completely? No, that's an unrealistic expectation to have. But if yes, like he said, 120 to 80,000 is a pretty big drop off, and that saves lives. And if you start to disincentivize, same thing with border security, same thing with everything else. If you disincentivize the ability to do it, the business model works differently.
Right.
Has anybody come up with a method to try to shut it down? I mean, public method that try to shut it down completely.
There's no perfect way to shut down completely. So that doesn't mean you don't try to mitigate it, right? I think one of the things I put forward, and let's talk about this. It's interesting. The Trump doctrine is to kind of go in there, Iran, hit hard with shock and awe, strong force, which is what we're good at. Same thing to get the Venezuelan despot leader out of there. Obama did it, with drones into Pakistan, Yemen, and places like that. Shouldn't that be our policy instead of committing ground troops to these endless wars that are expensive and Americans die? I mean, should that be more of our policy going forward?
If you can stop some type of conflict without putting ground troops, I'm for all that, Okay. But that's just part of the story. If you look at Vietnam, we did all kind of bombing in Hanoi. That didn't do a thing.
But we had troops there. We're getting slaughtered left and right.
Yeah, but we did all kind of bombing in Hanoi, and that didn't do a thing. We still got out of Vietnam trying to save face and didn't save face.
Do well. We have to realize as a country, we don't do well with guerrilla wars, meaning Afghanistan and Iraq, and when these insurgents are locked in, if you read this, see this Ken Burns documentary on the American Revolution, which I would encourage people to do. Pretty much the American army under Washington ran a guerrilla warfare against the British. They lined up those red coats and they would we would hit them and run, hit them and run, hit them and run, and just wore them out until they left.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that people misread about the American Revolution in that regard is that, like, even the British commanders who were in charge were like, we have to destabilize this new form of government in order for this to happen. Otherwise, if they just keep fighting, this place is too big, too spread out, too many people for us to ever actually get it back under control. So it was more centralized around Washington and trying to get with Philadelphia to make them shut down the centralized structure so they could do it. we were trying to do in Vietnam, the goal of, the Truman Doctrine, trying to stop the expansion of communism and all of that sort of stuff, that was the motivation behind all of that. So we committed troops to the ground, not these surgical strikes of B-2 bombers dropping just telephone poles of just the sun into a mountain and then leaving. Right. And if you're not stuck there and you don't have to establish some foothold in a desert or in something else and put people's lives at risk in order to stabilize, a singular moment is.
Yeah, but we're putting Bikram, and we put these Air Force bases and military installations in Iraq and Afghanistan where they can just bomb us, and we're sitting ducks over there. I don't know what the traditional military logic to me seems to be reevaluated. I think Trump has done that in his hit and runs. I mean, he's not going to commit us to a war with ground troops that doesn't have an objective, that's not on our shores, that we have these great oceans that protect us. He's buttoning down our hemisphere with Venezuela and an overture toward Greenland. I think we mind our own business, and I think we're going to be fine.
But that's not Trump's forte. He doesn't mind his own business. He's trying to get in everything all across the globe, and it's not working. It's not working.
Do you think
people are hating us even more these days? Because he's trying to control everything.
Extremists hate us. I hate to hear that.
And they're going around us as we speak. That's why our economy is about in shock and awe.
All right.
How are they going around us?
Do you think that
they sell to us? They can't go around us. We're a big consumer. So how are they going around us?
Yeah, they're going to sell to you, but they're going around us, going out there making investments. They're teaming up.
Are coming here. I think the number's like $7 trillion coming here in investments when there's less than $1 trillion under Biden.
We haven't seen, that's what's promised. That's his big front to say he's got all these companies. Manufacturing is not increasing in this country, not one iota.
So do you think that Trump is the first American politician to have any interest in Greenland? What's your understanding of the history of that?
Greenland, getting Greenland isn't important. What's important is to change this process of removing immigrants out of this country and harassing people in all these towns. That's what's important to me. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be.
How would you change it?
Trying to deport a 5-year-old. What kind of star do you get in your crown when you deport a 5-year-old?
Well, you put him in a car so he doesn't freeze to
Bill
death.
Clinton with Elian Gonzalez.
You don't put him in. You don't leave him out in the cold when his father ran away, so he can freeze to death in negative 20-degree weather. That's a good start.
You don't use him as bait either.
You put him in system So Obama and his 2 or 3 million deportations, he never did that.
The cages were built by Obama.
Obama did everything legally. Can you find any stain on Obama's record? He didn't get charged to be a felon or anything.
Do you recognize that's the problem?
And Trump says that he told a sheriff about Epstein. He told a sheriff about Epstein in Florida, and Epstein was involved with some young ladies in a room, and he left. Now, what kind of honorable or responsible human being is that? He left the young ladies in there with Epstein.
He's the one who turned them into the Palm Beach Sheriff's Department, not your Democrats who were down.
That's what the sheriff said. They collaborate.
So that's what the sheriff said in 2006. It's what Michael Wolff, the very anti-Trump writer, wrote in his conversations with Epstein, was that he believed that Trump was the one who turned him over to the FBI to start that investigation, and he hated him. So this is the whole revisionist version of what kind of a person is it? What the kind of person who calls the police on somebody.
That's what he should have done. If Epstein was in a room with young girls, he should have called the police.
Right.
That's what he did. He said Trump said he left the room.
All your Democrats.
Trump said he left the room. He didn't do anything.
And called the police.
Down there, Noam Chomsky, all your Reid Hoffman, all these
Deepak Chopra out of left field
down there. They didn't do a doggone thing.
I mean,
Lutnick was in a pickle yesterday because he said the guy lived next door to him. Epstein lived next door to him. He only saw him 2 times, and they started asking him questions. Found out he took a boat to the island with his family and had lunch with Epstein.
So this is the revisionist history that we really need to get over. When you say name me one single Obama thing. Benghazi, not great. IRS.
Benghazi wasn't Obama's fault. I mean, you can't control what takes place in another country. When they attack an embassy, they attack an embassy. Obama couldn't control that.
You controlled the response to it. They ignored the pleas. There was a major political damage was done on that. The IRS targeting that was proven, the NSA surveillance and Snowden leaks, not great. The drone program, as we discussed in Yemen and Somalia and Pakistan, not the greatest thing in the world. The VA waitlist scandal, something you should probably care about, like when he replaced the VA leadership and like this, like the rollout, the healthcare Salandra. I mean, there's a gigantic list. So just to pretend as though you don't remember it being that big of a deal that it didn't exist does not change the fact that it exists.
I'm not saying it was a big deal because Americans lost their lives in Benghazi, but Obama didn't have a personal stain on his record. He's the cleanest president ever in this country.
The NSA.
Now y'all can badmouth him all you want to, but that's your stick.
NSA,
Obama did not engage in un-American activities as this president is engaging in trying to take people's freedom and trying to shut down the press, trying to make money off the backs of Americans.
We got to take a break.
So killing an American citizen overseas is not un-American, Mr. York. Under Obama, he did that.
And when we get back, the NSA and the Snowden stuff that he greenlit and went over, that is the most un-American thing.
That's what you say.
I'm happy to go over it with you when we get back.
You don't have to go over it with me. Your opinion about Obama doesn't make a hill of beans to me.
We'll be right back.
We are going to break at WKOM. This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it.
This is Mark Curry at the Trailer Store. We are a local, family-owned business. Every day, I work with my wife, Susie, my mother, Becky, and my son, Justin. We offer a full line of lawnmower trailers, utility trailers, stock trailers, and a full line of trailer parts. We also offer service. Come see us at 1021 New Lewisburg Highway. Call us at 931-381-2795. That's 931-381-2795.
This is Debbie Matthews with the Nashville Realty Group, and if you've been paying attention, you know the housing market has been tough, but rates are beginning to thaw. So if you're thinking about selling, the time to jump in is getting better every day. But if you're thinking about buying, and those interest rates are still a little bit too high, a good agent knows how to negotiate interest rate buydowns. And I'm a good agent, so call me, Debbie Matthews with Nashville Realty Group, 615-476-3224.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Murray County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook.
Hello, my name is Zach Maddox. I'm a proud third-generation owner-operator of Columbia Paint and Wall Cover, founded by my grandfather, Ralph Maddox, in 1946. We offer a variety of paint and wall covering products, but our passion is customer service. We can offer many personalized services and can come out to your house or business if needed. Come visit us at our Columbia location or our new Spring Hill location behind Church of the City, or visit us online at paintcolumbia.com.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
A1 Tree Removal is there for the community in times of need. If you have fallen trees or broken branches and limbs that you need removed, contact A1 Tree Removal. Licensed and insured, A1 Tree Removal is a family-owned business that is locally owned and operated. If you have trees down and need help today, call or text Luke at 931-359-3113. That's 931-359-3113. Give A1 Tree Removal a call or check them out on Facebook today for all of your tree servicing needs.
Hi, I'm Kelly Dobson, owner of Caring Hearts Home Healthcare here in Columbia. For over 20 years, we've proudly served our community, locally owned and operated, providing trusted care you can count on. We support seniors, individuals with disabilities, and even short-term care after surgery. From personal care to homemaking and companionship, our team is here to help you or your loved one live safely and comfortably at home. Call Caring Hearts today at 931-381-5470 or stop by in person, 1121 Trotwood Avenue here in Columbia.
Farmer Johnny here, Taylor Family Farm. I want to give y'all a little look-see. We raise 100% non-GMO, grass-fed beef, pasture chicken, and pork on our family farm. Everything that we grow is raised with love and care to ensure the highest quality and nutrition for our family and customers. You can shop online at TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com or visit our farm store in person at Etheridge, Tennessee at 301 Dave Reisner Road. That's TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com for more information.
He shoots, he scores. Do you love money? Who doesn't? I'm Thomas Burns with Workout Anytime 24/7 in Franklin and Columbia. Let's scan a QR code today. Let's get you into a drawing for $25,000 and 2 free tickets to a Nashville Predators game. Don't miss out on free money. Let's get those cameras out and scan today. Again, scan that QR code at 125 Bear Creek Pike in Columbia, Tennessee. Let's get you slap shot ready.
Take a slap shot, wrist shot, dangle, hit, hat trick.
This is Del Kennedy, owner of Kennedy Broadcasting Company, operator of WKRM, historically 1340 AM, now FM 103.7, and WKOM, FM 101.7. We call ourselves Front Porch Radio, and I've said many times what that means. It means that we are working to connect this southern Middle Tennessee community one listener, one relationship at a time. Let me elaborate on what that means. We will relentlessly promote jobs, commerce, business, industry, education, arts, green space, music, rivers, the great outdoors, healthcare, churches, charities, sports, agriculture, and all the great people of southern Middle Tennessee. Join us, help us, call us. Front Porch Radio, Del Kennedy. Thank you for listening.
All right, welcome back. 3 Dudes with a View, our third and final segment of the day. I am Drake Pugh, running the board and filling in for Delk Kennedy this morning. Favorite son, native son of Columbia, and dude number 2, Ron Hart. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning, Mr. York.
Good morning, Drake. Good morning, everybody.
And son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning, Jeb.
Good morning, y'all.
All right. I'll just let you guys get back to it.
I mean, I think.
Let me ask y'all another question. About 2 hours or 3 or 4 hours before Don Lemon got arrested, Trump tweeted out, "Arrest Obama now." Do you think he's mentally ill?
No.
Or he's just he's got a narcissist?
You may have become mentally ill. Your derangement about him.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not deranged about him. He doesn't live in my head every day. But I'm just asking, is that normal?
Well, I mean, is it normal to fabricate a government-funded psyop against a political rival during a campaign, then try to undermine their presidency through a series of fake litigations, causing impeachment, costing the taxpayers millions of dollars, all the while knowing the entire thing is not true?
So y'all don't believe Trump did anything wrong? Is that
Never said he never done anything wrong. Can't say that about anybody. But your obsession with that, Trump did not. I mean, there's a lot of deep state issues that are coming out right now that we need to talk about. The deep state is a real thing. And that's part of the reason Trump was elected, is to go in there to weed out the deep state. And the deep state is 90% Democrat. I mean, DC.
So the deep state is all the professional people that he got rid of
Oh yeah.
And fired and all. That's the deep state, right?
No.
So what about all the people that are loyal to him that's doing anything that he wants them to do? Is that also not a deep state?
Those are your words, not reality.
That is Pam Bondi is on a hearing this morning about all the stuff she's done.
She didn't arrest Obama, did she? You just said
no. She didn't arrest Obama, but she tries to arrest people. Tries to get voter registration rolls out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
You should be able
to. That's not legal. What she was doing, that's not legal.
Well,
to try to blackmail the governor to say, "Hey, if you give me your voter rolls, I'll remove the troops." That's blackmail.
No, it's negotiation.
That's not no negotiation.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Because the governor didn't want the troops there in the first place.
Yes, but it's not their choice to have them there or not. It is the federal government.
You federalize an area for no real reason at all.
Federalizing an area. You don't know what that does not mean that. It is the federal government's job, ICE and the border security. It is their job to do that.
Why don't they go to states that got more populations of immigrants than Minnesota?
They do. The vast majority of
Texas, Florida. Why weren't they doing the same thing in Texas and Florida?
In Texas and Florida cooperate. They turn them over when they have an ICE detainer. Florida and Texas turn them over. They've arrested more people in Florida and Texas
by far
than they have in Minnesota by far. If you do the math,
25%.
And when you do the math about who they arrested, less than 14% are really criminals.
No. The way they word that are convicted criminals with a record, right? So convicted through the court system, charged with, suspected of,
in holding,
indicted for is a whole different category. You guys tend to focus on convicted murderers.
CBS did a study: 400,000 people, less than 14% had any kind of criminal activity.
No.
We're charged.
That turn of phrase.
You said it was convictions, and of they called felonies, or what they call the crimes when they're bodily harm, child pornography.
A lot of the folks had no warrants.
Child pornography and child trafficking is not considered a violent crime under those categories. So there was. I read the article, Mr. York. Unlike you, I read stuff. And I saw in there, I see what they're getting at, right? There's less convicted criminals. I mean, of course, these people hadn't been in the country long enough to be convicted of a crime.
And if you go in there and think about it, so Texas, where 25% of these deportations have happened from Texas. You have somebody who is in holding to have to go to trial, who is illegal, who is about to have to go through a long
trial. Like a damn spaghetti ball. Y'all wrapped around. Y'all sound like a spaghetti ball trying to explain out of 400,000 people they arrested, only less than 14% were really hardened criminals. What Trump said he was going to do, I'm going to get the real bad folks.
Where they take all the money. We're going to take lawyers and judges and prosecutors and jails and sheriffs. We're going to wait until they go through our complete system. $500,000 I get.
That's what the Constitution says, Ron. That's what the Constitution says.
No, it doesn't. It says they're here illegally. They got to go.
No, that's what Trump says. They got to go. And Trump is one person in this democracy. He is not a king. He is not a king.
Did your Lord and Savior Obama, of the 2.5 million that he deported, they were all convicted felons?
No. And
evidently the system didn't bring them back.
Okay. Right. So wait a minute. He was okay doing that, but Trump's bad.
Mr. York. Okay, there's several different parts of this that you're just jumping over. One, if you are a convicted felon as an illegal immigrant, the fact that you're even in jail in the first place is crazy, because you should have been deported when you were convicted. So that's just a ridiculous statistic to even put in as a part of that. If you are in the system, sitting in a jail, accused of a crime, but also here illegally, then you save the taxpayer a ton of money by just getting them out of there.
So deport them. That's deportable.
What they do.
That's what they're doing
up there. They're getting people who hadn't been doing anything but working and making this country great.
I'm sure some.
They break them out on the street and pull them out of their cars.
Do you know where that happens? Do you know where that happens? That happens in places that do not cooperate. In Texas, if they have them in custody, they hand them over and it's done and over. There's no fuss. They're not banging on doors. It was made very clear at the very beginning of the administration by Tom Homan that the states that don't cooperate, the cities that are sanctuary cities, if they have to go serve a warrant that they have and other people are illegal there, they will also be taken in. If you work with us,
every person in this country has a right to due process. What you all are saying, pick them up, ship them out. That's not American. That's not what the Constitution says.
And laws that Obama used, Mr. York. There's
No,
no difference.
he used the system.
You're lying.
The system.
There's no
Trump
difference.
is using the system.
It's just people are mad about it, so it feels worse. But it's not a different system. Also, people are mad about it, so they're fighting it in the streets, so it feels worse. The actual practical enforcement of it is not done in any different way. There's nothing about it that's
under more
different.
scrutiny.
They don't have Obama didn't have goon squads to pick up people.
Obama didn't
cart them off,
They
and nobody knows where they went. They just disappeared
because he was such a dreamy smile.
They just walked on a plane of their own accord.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I think he did it through the courts.
You're deluding yourself.
No, it doesn't.
He did it through the courts. What your administration is trying to do is go around the courts.
You recognize that immigration courts and our standard. You think that they have to sit down in front of a jury of 12 and sit down and have their day in court and explain that is not how immigration court works at all.
It's not the American way. Don't you have due process? If you get a speeding ticket, you have a right to have due process.
So misinformed
no, you're misinformed. You want to skip over the Constitution. You want to skip out on the Constitution and say we got a right. Anybody in this country that we pick up, we can just deport them. They are supposed to have due process.
You're saying a jury of 12 sits down with
not a jury of 12, a judge, a magistrate, a judge or a magistrate.
You don't even know what goes on.
And so I got pulled over for having expired tickets. I did not have to plead my case in front of a jury selected of 12 and then have an attorney.
No, would you pay the ticket?
Yes, I paid the ticket.
All right, so you don't have to go.
If you're here illegally, you should
go.
No,
I did have to go. I did have to go because they actually suspended my license. I had to go back and pay.
Well, yeah,
because they didn't tell me
something else was wrong. You didn't follow the process.
They didn't tell me I had to go in.
The country didn't follow the process.
But so the issue that you're discussing here is a very standard and understandable at scale misunderstanding of immigration law enforcement. And please give me a breath here, because it is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the actual legislated system of immigration courts works. So there is people are like, he didn't get his day in court. It's not due process. But due process is very different than if you got put on trial for a murder, or if you got there are steps in place for magistrate lawyers and people like that who can go through and put an order of deportation in. They have within a certain amount of time to come in and plead a case as part of that. But it is not more complicated than that if they cannot provide the proof that they are in fact supposed to be here. That is the due process. That is what every single other president has done.
Obama used.
It's the exact same process that they've all used. It's if you're not supposed to be here, you can provide that maybe we're wrong. You got that time. But if you don't, and then you come back to plead, and that was the thing that people were getting so upset about having it done in courts when the lady let her out the back. That was the third time that person had not shown up and did not provide any documentation. It was there for another thing. So the system and actually adhering to the law is a little bit tighter in this situation than it is in others, and people conflate the two. They're not the same thing at all. So immigration court, and then especially since there are different rules now, and there were, especially when there was that app that Biden put together that didn't work and also had a logo for the app that looked oddly sexual, but that's side note, and it didn't work. Those people are being reprocessed back through and have to come in and provide. So they have orders of deportation. So if you have somebody who has an order of deportation, you get them and then send them out. That is the totality of the due process required. That is it. That it's not people try to make it seem as though they should get an extra step or utilize extra taxpayer dollars or be processed in some different.
The other game you're playing, Mr. York, the Democrats are playing is, well, we need search warrants for every arrest. That's so impractical and stupid.
If somebody breaks in your house,
no, it's two different stories. You're conflating immigration law with
legal. That's not legal. It's not legal.
Well, being in the country is not illegal. These people being in the country is not legal.
Because they're in the country illegal, they enjoy the same rights we enjoy as citizens.
You said the word illegal. Say it one more time.
Illegal.
Yeah, so they're illegal.
They enjoy due process rights just like anybody else.
You said
it one more
the
time.
phrase.
It's illegal.
Constitution says. Y'all need to read the damn Constitution.
Very familiar with it.
No, what you just said is they deserve all the same rights as U.S. citizens.
They
by
are
being here
persons
illegally.
in this country, and they are due process.
They get to vote.
Become
They
a
get
joke.
to be
Actually,
president.
the immigration court had become a joke. You come in the country illegally. You tell them someone in Mexico's after you. You file for asylum. 4 years later, 8 years later, you wouldn't show up in court. It was a joke.
Let me say this, and I'm finished with this topic. You think that people who are here illegally want to get in trouble? They want to start trouble.
No.
They want to vote. That's what you're saying. They want to vote.
No one said that.
We're out of here, folks.
They are not coming in front of authorities for any reason. They're not going to vote. They're not going to be in any trouble, most of them. Yeah, some of them are bad apples.
Y'all, we're off the air now. Y'all have a good one.
Have a great day.
International Airport in Texas. This morning's About Face came just hours after the FAA announced a 10-day closure. It would have grounded all flights to and from the busy airport. Special security reasons were cited for the closure, which has now been revoked. Investigators in Arizona detained and then hours later released an individual for questioning in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The man's home was also searched. This development came hours after the FBI released surveillance images from Nancy Guthrie's front porch.
Images of a person in a mask with a handgun holster were caught on camera outside Nancy Guthrie's front door the night she went missing. The FBI releasing video and still shots.